so much for joining us today. Welcome to Simply Shift with Kashonna, the talk show. We are super excited about you being here. Listen, this is going to be an absolutely phenomenal show today. I know that you are waiting to hear from our guests today because we have been just promoting and making sure that we get the word out, because this is a very sensitive and a very good topic that most people don't really take, or most people may take for granted, or you kind of feel like you already know what you need to know, but we're going to educate you like for real today. So I am excited about having my two guests here today. It is about 79 degrees here in Laurel, Maryland, and let me tell you, it is nice. It's nice, ladies. I think it's nice. It's not. I mean, it's been like hot, like to where you're crawling on the floor, and you're like, give me some water. But today it's kind of like it's a nice breeze. I mean, I stepped out. I was like, okay,
it feels really good.
It feels good. I was walking my dog this morning, and I was like, yeah, this is nice. So we've gotten a little taste of fall, and so I'm hoping that it stays around a long time, so my air conditioning bill can kind of go down a little bit, because they have been enjoying me this summer. So I am very excited about the weather, but I'm even more excited about my guest that I have here today, Miss Tiffany Jones, who is a licensed therapist, and I'm going to read their bio so that I can officially announce them. And I have Miss Sheretta Galloway also here, who's a pastor and an entrepreneur. Oh my goodness, that's a job in and of itself. So here we go. I'm going to read Tiffany Jones first. Tiffany is a licensed professional clinical counselor, LCPC, and nationally certified counselor. She currently serves as a clinical manager of systems of care management for adolescents and their families in the District of Columbia. Additionally, she has a private practice in Maryland where she provides home-based psychotherapy to children, adults, and families. Tiffany has worked in the mental health field for the past 10 years. She is most passionate about helping women confront and overcome mental health and life challenges. Thank you so much, Tiffany, for joining us today. I am so blessed to have you here. I know that you are going to just rock it today. I feel it already. Also, I have Sheretta Galloway, aka the Sparkle Queen. Woo! She is known for uplifting, encouraging, empowering, and serving women across the world. She serves as pastor alongside her husband, Pastor James D. Galloway, yes, the third, at Word of Wisdom Christian Ministries. And she is very active in the ministry as a whole. She travels around the world ministering to women and young girls at various conferences, workshops, special events, and churches. She is a mentor, collaborating author, and founder of Recapture Your Sparkle movement. She is an entrepreneur, most recently having launched her new inspirational cosmetic line, Sparkle Girl, the Lip Shine collection by Sheretta, aka Sparkle Girl Cosmetic Line, at the 2014 Sparkle Girl Empowerment Getaway. Oh my goodness, we're going to talk about that later because you got some good stuff going on. She is affectionately known as a Sparkle Queen, teaching women around the world to arise and shine, radiating from the inside out and encouraging others to do the same. She has been preaching and teaching for over 27 years, assisting in bringing people to a place where they understand God's original design and empowering them to press past their past and present to experience victory daily. She has a passion for women and a heart for God. Full of vision, love, wisdom, and faith, she holds a Bachelor's of Divinity from New Hope and Life School of Religion and Seminary. She resides in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. She has been happily married for 28 years. Good God Almighty. And has 2 adult children, Michaelin, David, and 2 granddaughters, Madison and Courtney. Mashalin, I gotta get that right. Mashalin, good Lord, Mashalin. It's a beautiful name. I gotta get that right. Oh my goodness. Her quote is, "Life and lives are better when you sparkle." Yes, I love it. I love it. Thank you, ladies, so very much for joining me today. And listen, I know we have people who are waiting for us, so make sure that you go to my my Facebook page and you share on your Facebook page the broadcast, because people are waiting to make sure that they are tagged in, and I mean, they are at attention right now. Okay, all right, here we go. So ladies, I'm honored that both of you are here today, because we are talking about some pink elephants that have been sitting in the room, And my tagline was, is pain sabotaging your life? Are you allowing pain to sabotage your life? And some people don't even realize how much pain they're in. And I'm not just talking about spiritual pain. I'm talking about mental, and I'm also talking about physical. And so, Sheretta, you have a testimony that I heard, I was blessed to hear, and I wanted to make sure that I share it with my audience, because I know that there are some people out there who just need to hear it. So and this, your testimony stemmed from the death of Prince. Right. I mean, that's when you basically came out and said, wait a minute, we have an issue here. And people are judging, making judgments, and they're making comments that they don't even know about. And I love the fact that you stepped up and you said, wait a minute, hold on, let me give you guys some perspective here. So can you tell us, I want you to share your story here.
How much time do we have? Do the Cliff Notes version. I'm 48 now. 48 years old.
You look good.
Thank you. When I was 30, I was diagnosed with lupus. Never heard of lupus, didn't know what it was. And so just all of these different things begin to happen. With someone with lupus, different things are happening at multiple times, breaking down. And so I had a very long stint of chronic pain. I mean, it was a pain that I had never experienced before. Just when you have a person who has chronic pain, that means they're in pain all the time. And you can't necessarily look at a person to see that, oh, she's in pain or whatever, because you have a lot of people functioning in pain. And so, Prince passes away. Prior to him, there were some other people who had, similar situations. And I think when he passed away, I had it. It was just like, okay, come on. Somebody has to come forward and say, listen, you might be judging these people and saying, okay, another OD, he did drugs or whatever. And you have people who are living with chronic pain, just trying to get out of pain. And their intent is not to kill themselves, but to not to be able to go to sleep. They want to be able to go to sleep at night and sleep all night. They want to be able to rid themselves of the pain. You're talking 24/7. Right. You're in pain constantly. And so it prompted me to go live on Facebook and share my testimony. Some people knew about lupus and everything, but they didn't know the stint of time that I was in chronic pain. I'm talking like clothes hurt my skin. I'm talking about anything touching my skin, whether it was the wind, whether I was laying in the bed, whatever the case may be, I was in absolute agony. And so I'm like, I can relate. I know what it's like to just want to get out of pain. I know what it's like. Give me an hour, give me 2, give me a day, give me a moment. And so a person with chronic pain, when that pain is screaming, because it can be on, multiple levels, you just want to get out of pain. So you're not thinking, okay, if I take another dosage of this, you want to take it as prescribed, but when that pain is screaming and you're just in agony, you're thinking, if I take another pill, if I double the dosage, if I triple the dosage, I'll be okay. And for me, there were times where I did double the dosage, and I would tell my husband, hey, come check on me. I just did this. Now, what if I hadn't told him?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Come wake me up. Come check on me. He's looking at me like, okay, well, why did you, I'm in pain. I'm just trying to get out of pain. But I will also be candid and say, if you're not careful and if you don't have a good support system and you can't be vulnerable and open with somebody for real.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's, underline.
For real.
Circle that.
And say where you are. And I get, I'm a pastor, so I obviously believe the word of God. That's the foundation. That's important. However, in addition to that, the person needs to be honest about where they are. But a lot of times as Christians, we want to just push that to the side and be like, you believe God though, right? Yeah. Okay, I believe God, but can we talk about where I'm at?
Exactly.
Can we talk about that? And so if a person doesn't have that, I'm tremendously blessed that I had that.
Right.
And so he would, listen to me. There were times he'd pray for me, or he'd just listen to me, hold me, or sit with me, cater to me, whatever the case may be. Because I'm gonna tell you something, there were times, at first you're just trying to get out of pain.
Right. Right.
And then you're like, if that means I got to go see Jesus, I'm okay with that. And I had the arsenal to do it. Yeah.
Come on now. This is good. No, this is good because I think that a lot of times and I didn't realize, for me personally, how serious this pain is. I mean, because of course you're thinking, okay, well, I'll just pray for you.
Right.
You know, I'll pray for you and you can go ahead and keep it moving. But you're saying, no, you don't know. This is real.
Right, it's real.
And so do you feel like a lot of people almost ignore the pain that they're in, or try to pretend like it's not as bad as it really is because they don't think people will understand?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh.
I mean, because the first thing that happens is your faith gets attacked.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you must not be believing God. Like, I mean, I'm like, are we serious?
Come on, let's be real.
And when you are mature in Christ, and you really don't know, and you believe that, you start to attack yourself and think something's wrong with you. But can I tell you, even though I know, like, I knew the whole time I was healed, but I understand that it's a process to manifestation.
That's good.
You know,
That's
and
good.
it may not happen overnight, even though it can, but it just may not. That's not my issue.
But here you go. You're talking about people who are believing in healing and believing in the power of prayer, and so they're saying, okay, or you must not be praying enough.
Right.
Then you must not have enough faith. Then you must not believe. You gotta believe. And you know what? I grew up like that.
Me too.
I grew up like that. So it's like, you know, if you're still hurting, then you must not be praying enough.
Exactly.
Oh well, no. Okay, well, fast. Okay, well, no. Then you need to do this. You need to do that. You know, so you have all of these people saying things or making suggestions and don't really understand the depth of this pain.
And you realize, you know, you come to realize, I'm talking to somebody who's never been here.
Yes.
Because it's very
Oh,
easy.
my
I say
goodness.
this all the time. It's not hard if you have a situation. You don't mind me touching?
No,
because I'm gonna touch you.
It's a touch.
If you have a situation, it's not hard for me to pray for you.
Right.
Right.
It's not hard for me to pray for you and believe God with you. You're going home.
Yes.
I'm going home without it.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's a whole nother thing when it
Absolutely.
comes to yourself. But a lot of times, the truth be told, people who haven't experienced it, they can only understand from an intellectual position.
Right.
But listen, this pain isn't intellectual.
Right.
It's physical.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You know, and so they may not be able, and I had to learn to get to a place to be okay with people not getting it.
Right.
Right.
Because if you've not been there, and you don't even have to have the same issue I had, but if you've never experienced chronic pain, you really don't get it.
You don't get it.
You know, from an emotional standpoint, you don't get it.
Yes.
And there have been times and bouts in my life, even as a pastor, and I think it's probably the first time, Lord, I'm saying this live.
Go ahead.
Wait a minute.
That's right. You heard it here first. This is exclusive. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, right here.
But even as a pastor early on, where I did contemplate suicide. Not because I was tired of life, but because I was tired of being in so much pain.
I want to stop you there because this is a very real subject that we're talking about. And when you talk about the pain being so severe that you were ready to commit suicide, and I want to go back because everyone doesn't have a supportive husband that you have, or a supportive spouse, and so everyone doesn't understand what am I supposed to do, which is why I brought Tiffany in, because as a licensed therapist, she can kind of walk us through the process and say, you don't have to be ashamed of going to get help. You don't have to be ashamed of making the call and saying, you know what, I need somebody to help me. Tiffany, what are some things that you see in your profession? I mean, because it takes a lot for people to get to your door. So what are some things that you see people deal with in terms of getting to the door, and the fear of what they deal with? You know, it's like all of these things that they've heard in their past or while they were growing up. Talk to me about that.
So, you know, and that's so big because I think initially the biggest thing is fear, right? It's the fear.
Absolutely.
It's the shame. It's the guilt. And I think particularly in the African American community, you see it so much more where you're almost shamed into thinking that you're not able to heal on your own.
Right.
Or you see someone else who was able to get through that process having not sought out professional help.
Right.
So what happens is that you kind of suffer in silence.
Oh.
So you continue to put on a facade as if you're okay. Meanwhile, you're literally dying on the inside.
Oh my goodness.
So what generally tends to happen is that you have that one person or that, you know, group of people that kind of know really what's going on with you, who you've been able to be extremely transparent with, who literally are your feet to walk you into that place where you're able to get help. And I mean, fear is the biggest. It's the absolute biggest thing.
If I am a friend of someone who is suffering this type of pain, what are some key things that you would tell me as a friend? What should I do? What should I do to be supportive? I know that I can be the feet to walk them in, but tell me, how do I support them on this journey? Just when they tell me that they're hurting, what should I say? Because sometimes people say we say the wrong thing.
Yes.
You know, we want to help,
Right.
and we have the heart to help, but we say the wrong things, or we maybe do the wrong thing. What are some of the things that you can say, or you can give me the tools to equip me to help?
Listen. And listening in an active way. And what listening in an active way really looks like is not being so quick to speak, right? Just being able to listen. And one of the things that, and we all get to that place where sometimes, even as a therapist, when someone comes into my office, I don't always know what to say. And what is so helpful that I have found is to be honest and say, you know what? I don't know what to say.
Wow.
I don't know what to say. I don't necessarily understand, but I'm supporting you. And that's the biggest thing, is you don't always have to have the answer.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's not my job, even as a licensed professional, it's not my job to necessarily always give you the answer, because I might not have it.
Yeah.
But what our job is, and even as a friend, is just to listen and be able to let you know it's okay, you're safe.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot, often that's what people are looking for, is a safe place to be able to just be. And I think that even for people, contingent on what type of profession you're in, if you're always the person that has to be the strong person, you more often than you need somewhere where you can just be safe and just be. I don't want to be on. I don't want to have to know the right things to say. Right now, I just need to have my moment, have my space where I can just say, you know what, this ain't working.
Wow.
This is not working for me.
Active listening. I think that's good, because so many times we want to help, and we want to share what we think may be the right answer. And because we are the strength of so many people, we want to fix it. You know, I'm guilty. I'm a fixer. You know, I say, you tell me the problem, baby, I got you. I got you. Oh, what? You hurting? Okay, well, this is what we're going to do.
Right.
You know, and so to step back out of my fix-it role and say, okay, I'm listening to you.
Right.
What are you feeling? And then asking, how can I help? What can I do to help? Sheretta, I want to go back to you, because you talked about wanting to actually go be with Jesus. You know what I'm saying? You didn't say, I'm going to commit suicide. You didn't say, I just want to die. I'm going to just take my life. You didn't say that. And I thought that was interesting, because if we listen, then we can pick up some key words. You say, I just want to sleep. And see, I'm like, well, girl, go take a nap. You know, go lay down. Girl, I ain't gonna bother you. You good. You know?
Right.
But that was a key word for I'm saying I want to sleep, but there's something behind that, and that's that active listening piece. Talk to me a little bit. And you said I had the ammunition. I had the ammunition to do. And can I bring the ammunition?
Bring the ammunition.
Listen. When she walked in here, and those of you who are listening to us online, you don't see this, but on Facebook, she brought all this stuff in. I said, Jesus, I told her to bring. If you can hear this online, these are pills I'm pulling out of a box. I mean, out of this little basket, because it's stuff still coming out. She got the cute little coach couch, y'all, with pills in it. I mean, this is a lot. This is a lot. And so here you are, and tell me about this, because you had to make a conscious decision not to take all of this when you definitely could have.
On a number of occasions.
So why didn't you? What was keeping you? Tell me, because people need to. And people who are watching on Facebook Live, or whether you're listening online, you're saying, Kashonna, I got so much stuff in my. I know I can do whatever I want to do at any time, but I want you to share with people what stops you from taking all of this stuff. because this is a lot of stuff.
What, like you said, the key word, going to be with Jesus. I wasn't, now this is a whole nother show. When I was 16, went through some, when I was younger, 12 up to 16, went through some things, and I actually did try to take my life. I was unsuccessful, praise God, but that was a whole different situation. But in this situation, it wasn't that I didn't want to live, because I did want to live, I just didn't want to live like this. And so if that meant going to be with the Lord, I was fine with that. But because of the foundation of the Word of God, I can't get away from that. That is what, because I knew that there was hope. I knew that it was possible to actually live in the manifested healing of God.
Right.
I knew that in my core, and I really believed that I was healed. It was just moments where you would be tired, because if Christians will just be honest, there are moments when we are tired. Even the scripture says, that we should not grow weary in well doing. So if you're telling me not to grow weary, that means there's a possibility that I could enter a weary season.
Yes.
And so I would have moments of weariness, but that word rooted on the inside, and then having my family, because when you have something bigger than yourself to live for,
yes,
you gotta have something bigger than yourself, because if you just look at yourself and encompass with yourself can be some challenges or whatever, but then you're looking beyond. I'm thinking about my children, and I want to see my children's children, and my marriage, and how I do enjoy life, but this aspect of it is just so much. And then, not being able to really open up, because you have people who will make you think you crazy. Even for a season, I thought I was lunching. I'm like, I know I'm not a hypochondriac. I could bring my medical file, and it's bigger than most people's family Bibles. You know them big Bibles you used to put on the coffee table? It's huge. Like, I'm like, I'm not making this up. I know I feel this stuff. And so you go through all of this. So I was like, God, I just want to go to sleep. But you would have the enemy in your ear.
Yeah.
And I would have bottles like this on my on my headboard to my bed, and he was like, "Oh, you just gotta reach back, just reach back, and just take some pills and just go to sleep." Because what people didn't understand, or some don't understand, with chronic pain, the pain don't stop because you sleep.
Wow.
So you're barely sleeping, you're barely getting any sleep. And I literally would go to church. I would come home, get into bed. I would try to spend time with my kids as much as possible. It was just a very, very difficult time. And so when Prince died, my heart it felt like it exploded. And it wasn't just because of him, but it was like leading up to that, because other people, and then everybody has something to say. Why are you saying something that you've never encountered before? It would be hard for me to say what it's like to carry twins. I've never carried twins.
Right.
I can listen to you talk about the challenge of carrying twins and having 2 kids at one time that you have to care for, but I don't know what that's like. I don't know what it's like to be divorced. I don't know the pain of a divorce or a separation, because I haven't had that. So I'm not going to be like, oh, girl, get it together.
Yes.
God got you. And all of that could be true, but like you said, there's a way to disseminate that information. And I almost jumped out this chair when she was talking. When she said about listening, because people don't listen. They are ready with the answer before you can even get out the issue. They don't listen. So listening, and not always having to have the answer. Sometimes you just don't know. As a pastor, I'm like, listen, if it's not in the Word, and if God didn't tell me, let's sit on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I don't know.
Absolutely.
And we got to get rid of this need to feel like we need to know. But everything in here, I wouldn't have even had to make a cocktail.
Y'all see this?
All of these are barbiturates. This is morphine.
That's by itself.
This is morphine.
Good Lord.
Both of these are morphine. I could just drink this and be out. Like, y'all be talking about what Sheretta was. you understand? And that's real, because people really go through that. And you're so right. In the African American community in particular, it's like taboo or something. To go to a therapist. Like we act like, yes, the Word is important. That's the foundation. But God also has therapists, Christian therapists, who can, because some stuff you got to talk through. You have to walk through it. But if a person hasn't gotten an immediate manifestation, we think something wrong with them. And you causing more damage when you do that. Then you're not helping that person by doing that. And so I've had bouts, from overactive nerves. In my body. I praise God that I'm doing great, now, and I'm not on any of these medicines.
Wow.
Right? And some of these are this year.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not on any of these medicines, so I do natural stuff. But, you know, the interesting thing is, it's like, but all of this didn't just come out of nowhere. This was years, and this isn't even all of it. If I would have brought all my stuff in here, you would have looked at me like I could have covered this side of the table.
Wow.
It was just so much stuff. But people have got to allow people to deal with where they are. You got to have a safe place where you can express yourself without your faith being attacked, your belief being attacked. Okay, well, did you do this or did you do that? And so I appreciate my husband. And can I say this? You also need, even caregivers need support.
That's right.
Because it's a lot to care for somebody who's, you know, because now when I'm down, now he has to function as both parents.
Right.
You know, and take care of me and do stuff for me. And so on the outside looking in, you just see this.
Right.
And I looked like this.
Right.
During that time, but I didn't feel like I could really express to people, you know, about the chronic pain. But when Prince died, that was it for me. Because I said, people are like, okay, yeah, oh, he did drugs. That man is in pain. Can you imagine being a performer and being, you know, a perfectionist at that, and you have to perform? So, and that's such a huge part of who you are. Like, you're popping these pills just so you can give your best performance on stage.
Right.
So you can be there to serve, you know, the people who are there to support you or believe in your vision. And so just leading up to his death, they showed pictures of him coming out of, was it Walgreens or something, picking up prescriptions.
Wow.
And the sad thing is, all by himself, he dies in an elevator. I personally don't believe that he took those pills with the intent. And that's what I'm saying. People think when somebody has a drug overdose, of prescription drugs, they think that, okay, that person just decided to die. No, that person was trying to get out of pain. I'm not saying in some instances that may not be the case, but for the most part, you just, like I said, I wanted to just go be with Jesus. If that meant that I was going to be out of pain, I didn't hate my life.
Right.
I wasn't trying to run away from responsibilities or anything like that.
Right.
It was just, you're with yourself 24/7.
Yeah.
Imagine 24/7. Your body is screaming. I mean, screaming. You can't touch nothing. Clothes can't touch you. You are, I mean, your body is burning. I mean, it's just so much pain. I was in pain management forever. I was getting steroid injections for 3 years. I mean, it's so much to the story. It's almost like, could we cover all this in one session? It's so much to it that people have no idea. Because when you function and you show up, even if you show up wounded, they just focus on the fact that you showed up.
That you showed up. Oh my goodness, we're getting ready to take a commercial break because this is
like, that is so big.
Listen, we gotta go to commercial. I need a break. I'm telling you, I am learning so much here, and I really hope that our viewers and our listening audience, I hope that you're getting everything. I mean, this is a lot, but we're gonna go to commercial, and we're gonna come right back. You are joining us, Simply Chef with Kashonna, the talk show. Oh my goodness.
I don't know how you're going to do all this with my show.
I am not.
It's
you didn't even
crazy.
touch on this is the physical piece.
Yes.
But the emotional pain that comes along with having to deal with this.
That's where I want to go. That's where I want to go. We got to talk about it. Since you're texting me, you're like, well, what's you doing in there? Hey guys, Facebook Live, I know that you guys are still here. Oh, your husband is saying something on Facebook Live. Hold on, I missed it.
Let me see my phone. Because you guys supposed to take pictures, right? Can you? Okay. Because this thing right here is acting crazy.
Yeah, he's hold on, he's saying something. Yes, he is. Hey, Pastor Galloway, thank you so much for joining us. Facebook, this is the back end of it. This is the back end of it. He's, as her husband being a technician by trade and always troubleshooting things, I had to learn how not to try to fix her and just listen.
Make me cry.
Oh God,
That's
yes.
true though. That's
I hope
true.
that you all are joining this. This is absolutely amazing. I'm over here getting emotional because I'm like, how many people?
It's hard not to cry.
It's hard not to cry. I'm like, how many people have I told you can do this? Get yourself together. You know, just gird up. You know, because that's how I was raised. But now I'm like, I'm sorry. I need to make some phone calls. I mean, this is real. This is real. Hey, D Love. That's your sister.
That's me. She's like, she said we can still see y'all. You supposed to.
D, you got the backstage pass.
Yeah.
So after after commercial, we're getting ready to get back on. This is so good. This is so good. Charlene, yes, you're on commercial. You just have the backstage pass. We know that y'all can still see us.
That's
Dawn
good.
said this is a great conversation. Good job bringing more light to it. I love, love, love this. People are commenting. Karen said very informative, ladies.
And addictions. That's another thing I had to fight.
Dawn said you mentioned Prince, and yes, he didn't mean to take his life. I can't take the pain either, so I can't imagine. Wow. Sincere. Can you give me the phone number so people can call in? Phone number? It's not on.
Because that's another thing that was huge for me.
Hey, so listen, guys. If you, I'm asking you to please share this with your friends, share this with your family, because if you don't need this, someone else does. And it's not just about the person that's in pain; it's about the person who is supporting the person in pain, or who needs the support. So sometimes we don't even know that we need to support or how to support. So please, share this, guys. Share this with people that you know, because it is going to bless them really, really good. Let's see, let me make sure I write this number down so we can. Backstage pass, if you want to ask any questions, I definitely suggest you give us a call. I recommend you give us a call to 301-839-8009. Again, that's 301-839-8009. We are taking your questions. So again, make sure that that you join us for this conversation, because it is so very important that we support one another. We know how to support one another. This is so real. I mean, I'm just like, I'm blown. Do y'all see this? I'm over here getting ready to cry. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to cry. I'm the host.
We all be crying.
No.
This, oh my goodness, it's good stuff.
I think we didn't even know it.
It's, oh my goodness. Are you serious? I'm gonna talk about that too. We're gonna talk about your. We're gonna talk about your family.
Fighting,
Tiffany,
fighting, getting addicted.
Woo, yeah, let's talk about that. Tiffany, you ready? Because we got to talk about this addiction thing. We got to talk about the family. Lord Jesus, we got so how many minutes? All right, let's go back. Let's go back. We're getting off commercial because this is, Lord Jesus, this is too much. This is too much. Here we go. Oh, Charlene said I always wanted to tell my story, but I didn't know how. Yep, let's go.
That'll make me cry. Oh my gosh, okay.
Thank you so much for joining Simply Shift with Kashonna, the talk show, getting your afternoon boost. Listen, I hope that you are getting something from this. This is absolutely incredible information. This is life-changing information. And I can honestly say for me, just being a person of faith and understanding that I am here to support people and I am here to encourage and uplift people, these are things that I just did not know. And so I was joking during a commercial break and said, I gotta make some phone calls, because Lord have mercy, I've been messing people up. Talking about, get yourself together. You know, it's gonna be okay. Just suck it up. You know, because that was the way I was raised. And so now I gotta go back and repent to all these people and tell them I'm sorry. So Sheretta, before we went to commercial break, you were kind of bringing us into your life of pain and how much medication you had to take to just kind of, I mean, wake up in the morning. And I want you to talk about now, because during commercial break you shared with me that your family really didn't know how much pain you were in. Talk to me a little bit about that. How do you keep such pain from your family?
It really wasn't hard, only because when you see how people respond and stuff, and you kind of anticipate or think they may respond a certain way or they may not get it. And there's been so much you can take of people not getting it. So you're just not gonna put yourself out there. Like my mom didn't know. My sister's on here. She can tell you, she didn't know for a long time. My husband, and the only reason my husband knew was because he was there. You know, and I was always very independent. There would be times I would go to the hospital and my husband wouldn't know until I was at the hospital and they had to admit me.
Wait a minute. Tiffany, tell me about this, because this part of this is interesting, because there may be some people who have family members who are going through this. What keeps people from sharing? I know that you said, you know, people, you know, you get so tired of people don't understand, not understanding, but from that psychological standpoint, what is going on in people's mind when they don't share?
I think sometimes it's exactly what you said, is that you're tired of people not really understanding. And oftentimes, depending on what type of pain that it is or what you're going through, you might not really understand what's happening. So you already are battling in yourself, trying to understand what exactly is going on, that you can't really clearly articulate what it is that you're feeling. So you really you don't feel like that you have an outlet. So you don't want to sound crazy, right? You don't want to sometimes even by saying it, that means it's real.
Right.
So if you, again, you're suffering in
Wow.
silence. So there's so many things that begin to attack your mind mentally that will prevent you from really being able to seek out the support and the treatment and healing that you need. Because it's hard when you're going through something like, a chronic pain, that so often comes with the emotional pain behind that. And oftentimes the emotional piece overtakes the chronic piece, because once the chronic pain stops, oftentimes you still suffer with the emotional hurt that has plagued you throughout that period.
This is where this comes in. Because even though the physical pain is going on, the emotional, the movies that you're playing in your head, about, what, I can just stop all of this.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to ask, and I went back, and I'm going to go back and ask you, because you said, it was just for me to just reach, I could have just reached back and grabbed it, and you said no.
Then the psychotropics, the emotional med is on the other side.
Wow. So we got two different things we're dealing with here.
Absolutely.
And I want to go somewhere else with this, because we're talking about a physical pain. We're talking about a mental pain. There's also a spiritual aspect to this, a spiritual pain. And I don't think that sometimes we don't know how to, I don't know if it's separate the three, or if we acknowledge it. But there is a pain that we go through spiritually that takes us into sometimes physical pain, which takes us into the mental pain. I mean, it just all kind of plays together. Sheretta, did you go through all three of those aspects of pain? And if you did, then how did you come out of that pain? What did you do? Because this is a lot.
It is.
I'm overwhelmed.
It is a
I'm
lot.
overwhelmed. I'm like, you in so much. I'm in a physical pain, and I know. I mean, mentally, I would have just lost it, and then spiritually, I'm like, there's no God. I just would have been done. So what do you do?
Yes, you do go through all of those. I mean, spiritually, when you're constantly reading the word and seeing manifestations, you praying. Oh, wait a minute, you praying for people and they get manifestations.
Ooh,
listen.
Wait a minute now.
I'm just saying. Okay?
Wait
and
a
you're
minute.
still, not gotten a full manifestation yet, and so you can wrestle with some things. For me, I believe that we all live according to our core beliefs, not just beliefs in general, but our core beliefs. And thank God my mom raised me the way she did. I mean, we lived in church. We lived in church, so we were in church so much that I thought that's what our address was. I mean, it was just that serious, Thank God we're not religious anymore. But, I really, really, really in my core believed that I was healed. Just didn't know why the manifestation hadn't come. Now I'll tell you a turning point for me, if I may.
Yes,
a turning point for me was I began to ask God, where did this come from? Because everything comes from someplace. There was no history of lupus in my family. Nobody ever heard, they were like, what is that? I thought my doctors was making up stuff. I know what it's like to sit across a doctor and him give you a certain timeline to live. I've lived beyond my timeline.
Thank God.
And so I remember asking God, what is it? Now, remember earlier I made I referenced something that happened to me when I was 12, from the age of 12 to 16 years old. And basically what happened is because this thing happened to me and I didn't get it out of me. And again, everybody was like, Jesus is gonna fix it, that whole, that whole spiritual whatever.
Yes.
And so nobody ever, I had people in my life, but nobody really let me get it out. And I never cried over it. I didn't cry over it or deal with it or even look at it or even feel it until I was in my 40s. I'm 48.
Wow.
So God began to show me this came from you not releasing and dealing with the pain of what happened to you in your former years.
Wow.
And so what happens is when we don't allow people to look at where they are for real, you can't conquer what you don't confront. We say that, but we don't really want people to confront it. And so I never looked at it. And so lupus was a manifestation of undealt with pain and trauma from my childhood.
I just want to sit here for a second.
I know.
I'm just like, let me just. I think we just need a moment to get that.
Just,
When the
yeah.
therapist is stuck.
When we all stuck.
Listen.
Look, and that's basically that for me. Now I can't say that's for everybody else, but when you don't, and so now for me, I don't. And I got to shout out my girl Shawn Strickland, the dream coach, because that's when I remember when she first did. She did an overnight session, and I paid and everything to go. That was the first time I looked at it, the first time I cried. My husband, my children will tell you, my husband, when I first started to cry in my 40s, whether I was happy, sad, or whatever, they didn't know what to do because they never saw me cry. Never. Because during that time, crying was a form of weakness, and you just cannot cry. I got to protect myself, so I can't let anybody know how I feel. If I'm going to cry, it's going to be in my private time, and even in that, I wouldn't cry. Because I was just like, because everybody just kind of keep moving. Then I had some things happen as an adult. Everybody's like, okay, well, everybody's going to look at this. Everybody's going to be saying, we got it for the gospel's sake. What? Keep moving, keep moving. So they don't let you deal with where you are, and they're more interested in what you can offer them than you getting, healed or manifestation. So lupus, for me, that was a manifestation of that. And so from that time I got real freedom and liberty, I don't hold nothing in.
I know that's right.
Nothing.
So listen, I know that, I mean, there is not enough time on this show. I promise you, I'm sitting here like, what I just don't know. But this is what I want. I want to just kind of highlight and circle here, because I want to ask you a question, and it's a very direct question. It is a very direct question. But it is going to cause you, I hope and pray, to really sit and to think and to meditate or ponder a little bit. What is it that you're holding on to that has the ability, if you will, to make you sick or make you suffer with an illness that you may not even have to suffer with if you are ready to deal with it? If you're ready to say, you know what, this is real and this is what I'm dealing with.
Can I add this? It may not even be something you think can make you sick, but the truth is, if we hold toxic stuff, it's got to come out. It's going to come out. It's inevitable. There's no way it's not coming out.
Absolutely.
So you either have to voluntarily bring it out and deal with it, but if you sit on it, all it's doing is, like, women, we're incubators.
Yes.
All it's doing is hatching. It's
Absolutely.
birth. It's going to come out some kind of way. It'll come out in rage. It can come out in alcoholism. It can come out with drugs. It can come out with all of it. It's so many elements to this thing. Even somebody with chronic pain, they've got to manage their meds in such a way that their body don't get addicted to the pain meds.
Now, I want you to talk a little bit about addiction, but Tiffany, I want to bring you in real quick, because I know that from that, again, that psychological point of dealing with pain and dealing with, oh my goodness, just everything that has been said in this particular segment. I'm just trying to wrap my head around all of this. But what would you say to somebody? Because people need to talk. And that's why I have Tiffany Jones on this show today, because people you have to realize that you gotta get this out. And for you hired a dream coach, you hired, Shawn Strickland, and you said, okay, I'm going to pay for this service, because I know this is what I need. Let me stop right there.
And I was Pastor Sheretta.
And you was Pastor Sheretta. Listen, and Tiffany's going to give you her information at the end of this show. But it is worth investing in yourself to be healed.
Yes.
It is worth investing in yourself to be healed. I cannot tell you how many people are walking around holding all this stuff in because they don't want to get off $2. Right. Stop. Right. Okay, stop. You need a therapist, you need a coach, you need somebody to walk you through this process. You need a safe place to walk you through this process, because you can't do it alone. You cannot do it alone. With the help of God and with the help of people who God has put on this earth. This is their ministry. This is Tiffany's ministry. This is why God put her here. This is what, coaches and things like this. Invest in yourself so that you can walk in freedom. Goodness gracious. Go ahead, Tiffany. I know you were going to say something. I felt that. Go ahead.
So I think that, and you're so right, it's about investing in your healing. And I think the biggest thing is when you invest in your healing via a therapist, it's about allowing someone to help you to structure that healing process.
Right.
And that's not, and again, I'll go back to, it's not that we have all of the answers. We don't have the quick fix. We don't have the perfect thing to say, but what my job is to help you to structure what that healing process should look like for you, because those behaviors, those thoughts, those actions, those emotions, they're going to come out regardless. But the thing is what I am there to do is to help you to figure out what is the root of those things. Because if you are addressing those small issues and putting band-aids on them, and you're not actually peeling back those layers of that onion, your healing really is pseudo. So what that looks like is that over time, as time goes on, you're continuing that cycle. You're continuing those toxic things that are in you, because why? You have not had the opportunity to really get to the root of what those things are. And like you, Pastor Sheretta, having gone through what you went through from 12 to 16, you had no idea that those years would pass you, and that it would be until you were well into your 40s that you said, oh my goodness, all of this now makes sense. But when you take the opportunity to really get into your counseling, and there's other means, there's self-help books, there's groups. I mean, I can't speak more for what social groups do. When you go to like support groups, and when you align yourself with other people who have experienced those things, that's healing within itself.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So just, I'm a huge proponent of seeking out professional help. I mean, it's a life changing.
You said one word that I want to kind of talk about a little bit, is you said addictions. And some people, when they think of addictions, they're thinking cocaine, they're thinking weed, they're thinking, whatever else, they're thinking this kind of medication. But people have other addictions, and I heard you say that Pepsi is an addiction.
People
gotta have my
People.
Oh, I like what you mean, people?
Shopping.
Like being around people?
Being around people, looking for someone else to be your healer outside of God, right? So I mean, that you'll be surprised when you are in a setting where the actual goal and the focus is to really help you to get to the root of what you're struggling with. Oftentimes what people will say is that the reason why I haven't been into therapy is because I've been talking to my husband, I've been talking to my sister, I've been talking to my best friend, I've been talking to my mama, I've been talking to my grandma, all of those type of things, but have they helped you to structure and really get to the root? So if that person is no longer available to help you and to hold you up during those difficult times when they're not there, are you really healed? Have you done the work? Because I can be there to support you, but I can't do your work.
Yes. Oh
And
my
that's
goodness.
where that healing really comes from.
I don't, y'all listen, if y'all have questions, this is you 301-839-8009. Again, that's 301-839-8009. If you don't want us to use your name, that's fine, but we do want you to call in and ask your questions. We have about, 12 minutes. And I'm over here like, oh wait, okay, hold on, we got to get everything in. I don't want to go to commercial break. I want to stay here because I want us to be able to capture everything that we're dealing with right now, and I want people to be able to be blessed. And I mean, the notes and the feedback is coming in like crazy. So I want to make sure that I talk to as many people. I mean, I get as many people in as I can. Sheretta, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about you making the decisions that, even though the physicians told you that you need to take these meds every day. Now, we have our super spiritual people. Okay? This is like, God is a healer, I'm not going to take my medicine, And then we have people who are on the other end of the spectrum.
Right.
I'm not taking anything, or I'm going to take it all. I mean, So tell me, how did you find the healthy balance in that?
First and foremost, I understand that I still need God to work in the medicine. I never tell anybody, don't take your medicine. That's foolishness. That is foolishness. Obviously, God gave the doctors the intelligence to be able to be an aid for us. Their doctors aren't healers.
Right.
They're simply there to aid us as God is healing, you know. And so, you know, for me personally, I would always pray about, okay, is this, research the medication, make sure I was fully aware of, you know, most side effects are everything in death, right?
Right.
You know, so I would, you know, research and, you know, check stuff out, see, you know, what they said could happen or whatever, and I would pray. And I think it's a case-by-case situation. I work very closely with my doctors. I trust my doctors. I've been with my doctor, one particular doctor, for a long time. I mean, over 20 years.
Wow.
And he knows, like, he knows my faith. He understands, you know, how I feel about meds. I'm not against them, but I understand that they're band-aids. They are an aid. They don't have the capacity to heal.
Right.
They're only there to aid me. And so for me, it's just, okay, well, God, is this something I should take, or how do I feel? I had to have peace about it.
Right.
Even if I didn't have peace about it, I might go and talk to my doctor and say, listen, I don't like what I've reviewed. Is there another alternative? Like, for instance, I had back surgery in February.
Right.
6 months out. Still healing and progressing. This is definitely has been one of the most challenging recoveries I've had. Out of all, I think I've had about 15 surgeries in my lifetime. And so these two in particular, who gives you 2 things of morphine? Right. You know, and so they wanted me to be on this for a long time, and I stopped it. I'm not telling you to do that at home, but I stopped it because I knew I could, and I wasn't going to go through withdrawals, because for me, my concern was always, when you have this level of medication, I'm talking stuff that could take your pain right on out,
right,
all right, as much as possible. I didn't want my body to get addicted to it. And that's not uncommon.
Yeah.
It really isn't. When you're used to taking something, next thing you know, instead of you, like you were talking about that emotional pain, you might not have the physical pain anymore, but you have the emotional pain. It's like somebody gets, they lose a limb. What do they call it? And you can still feel a limb? It's a term for it. It's a term for it. And they still refer my arm, but they don't have their arm no more, but they can still feel like they have their arm. And so emotionally, you start going to the drug because you had a bad day, or you're just trying to get away. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so it's. But I would never tell anybody, don't take your medicine. But you got to balance it out. You can't just, you know, you got to be very intentional with your care.
Let me ask this, because
Right.
I'm going to take a call. I have a call.
Okay.
I'm going to take a call. Okay. Go put your. Okay. Caller, thank you so much for calling Simply Shift with Kashonna. Good afternoon.
Hi.
Thank you so much, Dawn. Dawn, you messing up my show schedule.
Right.
I love it. It's not. It's not. Oh, thank you so much, Don. I so appreciate you for calling in, and I know that you all can't hear me. I see you, sorry, you can't hear us. You can't hear the caller. But basically, she was just saying that this is not a one-time. It can't be a one-time show because there's so much that needs to be talked about and needs to be dealt with. And so we're definitely going to find a way in our show schedule to make this happen again, because I sense that so many people are being helped and being blessed by this, and I can feel it. And so thank you so much, Don, for calling in and just making sure that we understand that there is a need. Amen. God bless you too. Thank you so much. They were telling us on Facebook Live that the name of the lamb is a phantom. It's called Phantom Pain.
Okay, thank you. Yes,
Phantom
yes,
Pain.
yes.
So I oh my goodness, this has been absolutely, I want to say breathtaking, from the sense of giving me personally clarity, and also giving me a revelation of this. And I cannot express enough how much I thank the two of you for taking time to share your personal testimony and to share your experience. You are the expert in this field, and you see people, all the time, and you experience their pain, and I think that there has to be so much empathy in the job that you do. So I appreciate your versatility, and you just saying, hey, I'll be there to make sure that people understand that there are people there to help them. So thank you so much. I need you to be quiet, Sarah. So because she's gonna tell me everything I said. So thank you, ladies, so very much. Tiffany, I want people to be able to contact you and connect with you. How can they do that?
You can reach me on Facebook at Tiffany Jones.
Okay.
You also can shoot me an email to a private inbox at Tiffany_njones@yahoo.com.
Okay, that's Tiffany_njones at yahoo.com. And I'll make sure that I post this on my social media account so everyone can make sure that they have the information to connect with you. Sheretta, please tell me, because I know that you are not only a pastor, but you are also an entrepreneur, and I can see so much how this has really bled into what you're doing in terms of business-wise, because you are doing health, beauty, and wellness, and I'm telling you, it's phenomenal. So please tell people how they can get in contact with you as well.
All right. On Facebook, it's Sheretta Galloway. On Instagram, it's Sheretta. Is it Sheretta G? Sheretta Galloway, and Recapture Your Sparkle. Or you can just do this. This makes it very easy. Text one word, Sparkle Girl, as one word, to the number 22828. Again, that's text Sparkle Girl, one word, to 22828, and that'll put you on my mailing list, and you can stay connected and everything that we're doing.
Text Sparkle Girl to 22828. 22828. Text Sparkle Girl. And Sheretta, I know that you have a cruise coming up in 2017, because that $75 deposit is due in a few minutes.
Yes, it is.
So I want you to just share a little bit about your Sparkle Girl conference, and you're doing this cruise next year, and just share with people how they can get registered for the conference.
Okay, Sparkle Girl Getaway. This will be the third one that I've done, and Recapture Your Sparkle basically was birthed in me recapturing mine once I got freedom and total healing. You follow me? So I'm trying to help women do the same. But basically, we are going to the Bahamas, October 22nd through the 26th. And so right now you can do a deposit for $75 up until September the 6th. After September the 6th, the deposit goes to $150, but women are already registering from all over the world. It's going to be amazing. If you've ever been to any of the Sparkle Girl Getaways, you know it's an intimate setting. Yes. And even though we're going on this cruise, it's still going to be an intimate setting. It's going to be amazing. And so you can go to regonline.com/SparkleGirl2017. That's regonline.com/SparkleGirl2017 to register. So you might want to go ahead and hurry up and get in on that 75. Yes. So grab your girlfriend.
Yes.
Those are based off of double occupancy. You'll see on the site, those are based off of double occupancy. But if you want to stay by yourself, we have some single, pricing as well.
It's so much better when you go with your girls.
I know.
Just saying. It's so much better.
It is.
So much better.
So come on and let's cruise.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So you are tuned in to Simply Shift with Kashonna, the talk show. I am super, super thankful that you took the time out of your afternoon to get your afternoon boost with us today. Sheretta, Galloway, and Tiffany Jones and myself, we are so grateful to you for just investing in yourself this hour. And so my prayer is that you are empowered to go out now and do something with the information that you have. Listen, it's been great. Don't forget to share this post, share this with a friend, share this with your family. Tell everybody you need to know about this. So come on and let's see how we can help everybody. We can just encourage everybody and uplift everyone. Listen, we do also have advertisement opportunities and sponsorship opportunities. So we welcome you to give us a call. You can call us on that number, that 301-839-8009 number, if you are interested in doing a commercial or in sponsorship. We would love to have you. So call us, get more information, and I would love to see you again next Monday at noon here on Simply Shift with Kashonna, the talk show. God bless.
Thank you.
Bye.
Woo.
Wowzers.
We're still on.
Do y'all see us over here? Oh my goodness. I mean, we snatching earplugs
I know,
out like
it's
it's just, listen guys, thank you so much for joining us today. I will make sure that I post their information after we are done here. I so appreciate your feedback. Now I'm going to go on all the feedback that we got. I so appreciate your feedback and chiming in. I believe this show blessed someone today. So my prayer is that you are healed, that you're delivered and set free by it. God bless you. You're made the better today.
Yes. See, I gotta teach you some stuff.